Welcome, happy new year. I feel like every crochet person or knitting person or just like any fiber artist does these sort of videos like every year or every 6 months. I've seen people do like a mid-year like update, so I'm gonna do one too. I love watching them, so I thought I would do one too, even though I haven't made barely anything compared to what everybody else has made this year. So this video is just going to be everything that I made this year, as well as things that I started and didn't finish. So maybe I can look back in the future and see all the different projects that I had attempted to make or did make and my improvement over the years. The first thing I attempted to make this year was a puff flower blanket. I'm not actually sure if that's what they're called. I'll put like a picture of what they're supposed to be here because I seen it on Pinterest one day and I was like, I want to do that. That looks like so much fun. It's not fun. Don't do it. I started this project in the summertime. I actually can't remember the specific date, so I'll put it somewhere in the screen. It was like one of the first projects I give myself. And it's not really something that you give yourself on a whim, which is what I did. I feel like if you're going to make a puff flower blanket, there needs to be like a lot of planning involved before you commit to it. I literally just went into Hobbycraft and grabbed like three balls of yarn and was like, I can do this. But I'm never going to finish this blanket ever. I think like a lot of like fiber artists never really give up on projects. They always kind of finish them even if they're not feeling them or if they're not enjoying the project. That's my opinion based on like videos that I've seen or like online stuff, but I'm never gonna finish this project ever. I really don't like it. It's not fun at all. If anybody wants these flowers, I will happily ship these flowers to anyone who asks for them. Because I hate it. Maybe you get more use out of it than I will. So I went from one blanket to another because my second project was another blanket. I made a sunburst granny square blanket. I also can't remember when I started this. It was in the summertime though, because I think I chose like summertime colors specifically for the blankie. And I finished it. I can't remember when I finished it either. I'm gonna put them up on the screen of like when I finished them. What inspired me for this project was I had like a bunch of color changing variegated ombre yarn, whatever you call it, and I was like, yeah, this is like what I want to make. Like this will be so cute. And I seen this picture, if I can find it I'll put it up here, of someone making the exact same one, but they chose black as their background color, which I almost wish I had it done because I think it would look nicer than the white that I had chosen, because I think the black just brings out the colors more, especially since I chose like very pale pastel colors, which blends into the white sometimes. I originally wanted the blanket to be really big. Like it wasn't my intention for it to be this small. Like it doesn't even like wrap around my whole body. That's how small it is. I think I like needed to learn like when to stop, because I was starting to get like burnout from the project, and it just towards the end it had like stopped becoming fun. So I needed to like stop before I ran myself into the ground. So but like now in the future I really like the blanket. It's like my favorite thing I've made so far. Like I'm happy I stopped when I stopped. The third thing I made, so I decided that like I would start Christmas presents early. This was in like September, I think. I don't really know. I'll have to put in the actual date. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to start Christmas presents early. Like if I start them early, I'll be able to get them done. So I decided to make a blanket for a family member of mine. So we both like crochet, and we were talking about projects that we want to do in the future, and we both said like pretty much the exact same. Oh my god, like I want to make a sunflower granny square blanket. They're so cute. And if you haven't seen those before, they're all over Pinterest. I'll put like pictures up of them here, but they're like everywhere. They're really cute. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make her one. and I never finished it. I actually made a video of like how to make the square. Once I finally finish that video, I will post it up. But I had started making the blanket, and I just like the sunflower granny squares are pretty much just an altered sunburst granny square, at least from like the research I put in and the one that I had like made for her project. They're pretty much the exact same, only like an extra layer kind of thing. They're quite big compared to a sunburst granny square as well. So from going from a sunburst granny square blanket to a sunflower sunburst granny square blanket was just too much for me, and I had burnt myself out. I only got like 78 squares in, and it was too much. So I gave up. I might just keep the blanket for myself, or I might finish it for next year. I hope she never sees this video, because she'll know it's her that I'm talking about, and she will see the blanket that I might give to her. The next project I got into was a hanging plant holder for my plant. I found this like tutorial online of a monstera leaf, and I love monsteras. I actually have a tattoo of a monstera leaf, so I really like them. I can't find the tutorial because I wanted to like leave it like below in case anyone wanted to try it, but I can't find it. Yeah, so I made that. I actually ran out of cord like halfway through the project, and I ended up having to use this like red one instead. It's like it's definitely like something I want to make again in the future because I really like it. With my cream, you have to use these special knots that make the plaits and make it twist and be pretty. But I actually crocheted this with my cream cord, so it's like a mixture of the two, I suppose. Around Halloween time, my partner decided that he wanted to dress up as Winnie the Pooh for Halloween. So he wanted me to make him like a Winnie the Pooh hat for him to wear. So this was the first hat I ever made. I actually really struggled with it. I didn't know how to read patterns when I made this project, and I found one where it taught you how to increase to a certain size of head. So like if your head was like 10 centimeters, you would increase to this much. If your head was 20 centimeters, you would increase to this much. But I didn't understand how to do that, and it ended up really small. So I just found like I measured his head and just typed in like I can't remember how big his head was, but I was like, oh, hat for this size head, like on Google, and I finally found one. It was the first time I ever read a pattern, so it was really hard. Since the hat was just a beanie, I then had to mix a few patterns together to make the Winnie the Pooh ears on top of it. But he also wanted a strap, and I can't remember why he wanted the strap, but he did. So I think it was just like a single crochet along the bottom. This hat really helped me like be productive again, because after the blankets I was like just burnt out and felt like a wee bit bad for not finishing my projects. So it helped me be productive because it was a small project that I completed in like a day, and it felt really good to be able to finish something in a day. So I would suggest, if you're going to be making big projects, make sure you make small projects alongside those big projects, because it feels so good to have it finished, and it'll also keep your interest peaked as well. After that, I decided to make a cardigan. We were having like a breast cancer day for Macmillan and work, and we were going to be wearing all pink, and I was like, oh my god, I want to make myself a pink cardigan to wear in. I never finished it in time for the day, so I didn't wear it in on the day, but I finished it like a couple of weeks later. Like, the project was supposed to be pink. The only yarn I could find was this ugly pink color. I didn't even like the color of pink that I had chosen, so it was like I was setting myself up to like not like the blankie or the cardigan. Then I ran out of yarn, so I was like, oh, I'll just use something like from my stash of yarn. I'm sure I have something in there I could use. So I did. So the cardigan has this like blue greeny sleeve as well. I had to make the ribbing of like the front panels of the cardigan. I keep forgetting what it's called. I keep going to call it blankie, and I actually did those wrong. They're not, they look bad, but I did them wrong, which makes them look even worse. And to do those, I mixed like a pink variegated yarn with a white yarn. And then my mum seen me make it, and she was like, oh, I want it, I really like it. And I was like, okay, you can have it. So it's now hers, and I'm glad it has a home now, because I don't like it, and I would have just gave it to somebody because I didn't like it. The next thing I made was my Mrs. Claus hat, which was the first video I made here, and it's like by far my favorite thing I've made. I really really like the hat. I actually started making another one of these because after I had made like all my hats with the yarn, I still had some left, so I wanted to see how many hats I could get out of like the whole ball of yarn. Final thing I made this year was the Harry Styles cardigan, which I feel like everybody has made one of these now. If you crochet, you've made a Harry Styles cardigan. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that cardigan too much because I am making a video on that as well. Yep, that is everything I made this year. That is a total of 11 things I made if you can if you include the hats as like individual pieces. I think I done the math right there. So it's now like the 4th of January, so it's a new year, new projects, new things to make. I'm really not sure what I want to make this year. I really wanted to make a temperature blanket, but I don't the idea of it sounds fun, but I think like the execution of it will be quite boring. I want to make like a weather blanket instead, so like people do the temperature, and right now it's like 1 degree outside, but it can be 1 degree and it won't be snowy, so it's like not as fun. So I feel like if I do a weather blanket, like I could do a different color for the different weathers. So like if it's snowing outside, if it's icy, if it's frosty, if it's foggy, if it's sunny with clouds, if it's rainy, if it's thunder. I feel like that would just be funner to do. Like I have so many Pinterest boards like full of ideas of like things that I want to make, but I feel overwhelmed as well with ideas and stuff that I want to make too. Yeah, so thank you for watching everything that I made in 2021. Well, everything I made and everything I didn't make in 2021. And I hope that you make lots of projects in 2022. And I will see you for my next project. Bye!